So, Jeremy, congratulations. Obviously, not the way you wanted to get the victory. Just you're in the corner, you see probably he's struggling, and then the ref or the medical calls it off. Just what was your reaction?
Yeah, just I was just focused on that first round, getting that finish, and I could kind of tell as the round was going on, like the mat returns were getting easier and easier, and he was given less resistance. So I thought maybe something was up. I didn't know. He didn't say anything, and he was still fighting, you know. But that's my position, you know. I get the back, and I try to be real sticky with it. So I didn't really give him much of an option to fight out. I had the body lock, and I knew I was going to be there for the round, unless I got the choke. In between rounds, I wasn't really focusing on him. My coach was right in my ear, grabbed my head, looking at me like, hey, listen, this is what we got to do. And then I kind of looked over the shoulder, and I saw them, like, reefing on his arm, and I was like, oh, damn, maybe this isn't going to go. And then it looked like they got it sorted out. I thought maybe this is a problem he's had in the past, and it's just a simple pop in, and he's good to go again. And I was ready to go guns blazing at him, you know, the jump kick at his shoulder or something right at the beginning of the second round here. I was getting ready, and I was expecting a fight. You know, when I stood up off the stool, I was fully anticipating a second round because I thought, like I said, they had fixed it or figured it out. Unfortunate, though, honestly, you can't control anything, and especially with shoulders, and you see these injuries all the time. I felt good in there, though. You know, I felt the strength, and I wish it went more. You know, especially that first round. I'm typically a bit of a slow starter. Like I said, when I stood up in for that second round, I was like itching. I was like, I'm just gonna go balls to the wall at this guy. Every time I get in there, especially as like a long layoff, it's so hard to get. It's such a different feeling. You know, you got the cold canvas, and you know the crowd, and the arena's cold, and you're kind of dry already from your warm up, and it takes some time to get into it. And after that first round, I was like, I wanted to go, you know, so I was getting ready, and when they waved it off, it is what it is. But I'm kind of looking for what's next now. You know, I'm eager. I got one round in 10 months, you know, so I want to stay active. That's my biggest thing is activity, and the only thing that I can see in announce, you know, for the rest of the year, outside of the rest of the year, is that February card, and I've had a lot of history with Pedro. So that's the one I'm gunning for. And just talked to Mike. He loved the idea. So Pedro's probably sitting there, you know, shuddering over there in Ireland, and wishing he didn't send out those tweets. But it is what it is, and now he's got to, you know, back that up.
Is it just the fact, the history about that and the tweets? Because I think some people would feel like, you know, a win like this one for yourself, despite how it all played out, he might just be able to jump right up to a bigger conversation, you know, maybe the Boric and Patricio winner. Are you
Who's
really
that, him or me?
No, you.
Me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, I mean, I'm a young guy. I'm gonna be here for a while. I know I'm gonna be at the top of the division. Like, I've had close fights with the top 5. All my fights I've been ranked 7th, 8th. I mean, media, you guys are the ones that are voting. I don't know how I keep dropping ranks without even fighting. And now Weichel's ahead of me after Pedro beating Mad. So I don't know, make it make sense. But I don't really care about the title right now. Like, the title would be amazing, but I know how politics work. You know, you get AJ coming off. You know, if he were to get a win here tonight, Pitbull happen to win, you know what's coming next. There's a trilogy, so I'm wasting my mic time trying to call for that fight. You know, Boric, I love that rematch, but again, he's going to be around for a long time, and I know I'm gonna see him again. The moment I walked out of that cage, I knew I was going to see him again. And if that's next, that's next, but it's got to be ASAP. You know, I'm looking for activity, and while the rest of the division sorts itself out, you know, you got Pitbull wanting to go down, you know, AJ wanting to come back to get that trilogy. I don't know. I can't control any of that. But Pedro, he's 4th now, I think. He's right at the top. So while that's all settled, let me fight Pedro in February. Winner of that, then the title fight's right around the corner for me. Let that dust settle. And I just want to stay active and keep making money.
Final question. Obviously, you know, being in SoCal, the fans were behind him. You know, they gave you a bit of the boo birds following that. Your wife was there in the corner, and she did not care. She was dancing. She was celebrating. What's it like to have that support and just have that back at the home base when you're going into a big fight like this?
Oh, it's huge. She's a big part of my team, you know. Fight week, everything, all my camp. we picked up and moved our whole life from Canada to Vegas, you know, and she had a great job back there and just committed to me as soon as we got married, and we were doing a lot of back and forth. And once I committed to coming here full time, she quit her job and she can't work here, you know, with the visa situations and whatever. So she's all in with me, and she's almost just makes my day to day easier. And this is like her career just as big as mine. You know, she's in it too. And yeah, I mean, with the crowd, I kind of had I fight in backyards all the time. Volkanovski in Australia, Hani Jason in Brazil. I fought Bokniak in Boston, and it's just that's what I've been doing. You know, I went in Saudi Arabia and fought, you know, Morocco and Italy, and I fought all over the place. I haven't really fought in Canada in years, and so I'm always fighting in backyards, hometown guys. That's why I just want to add this Ireland one to the map. And yeah, so I wasn't too concerned about the boos. I knew they were going to be. It's just noise when I'm in there. They might as well. All those cheers could be for me. Boos could have been for him. Doesn't matter to me. It's the cage door's locked, and yeah, wasn't too concerned about that.
I mean, just curious, like, what the emotion is like right now. I know you just got out of the cage, but beating Aaron Pico, it should be, you know, the biggest moment, biggest win of your career, right? And it happens in this weird way. Is it kind of a tough feeling to know that maybe it didn't happen exactly how you probably envisioned it?
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say this is the biggest moment because of how it happened. You know, I definitely got the win. The first round went exactly how I wanted it to go. I felt him, you know, I was able to inflect my game. You know, unfortunate things happen. I don't even know when it happened, early or mid, or if I caused it or he threw something. I don't know what happened. I can't control any of that. So I'm enjoying this moment, you know, just because I got the win, you know, and now it was a life-altering fight for me. I knew that coming in. A win puts me in a great position. Obviously, a finish would have been, you know, stakes. The claims would have been a little higher and whatnot, but getting it the way I did, I still imposed my will the whole first round. And I'm just, looking to move forward now. I'm kind of getting this chapter behind me. I'm sure I'll see him again. He'll want to probably get this one back. I know he's got who knows the extent to his injuries. But he's a young guy. This whole division's young, and it's exciting, man. So I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Right here. So, with Pico being a striker, what was the strategy coming into the fight?
Honestly, it was his wrestling that I was a little bit concerned about. You know, I know he's a good striker, but he's more of he strikes well because his wrestling is so good. You know, he blends his big power shots into his double legs, and he's comfortable there, and he secures takedowns. Watching footage, I don't think I saw any of his takedowns ever get stuffed against any of the other guys he fought. So I was interested to feel his hips, you know, and feel him. That's usually how I feel against everybody. You know, I feel like I can maul all these guys. So I was just interested to see how that was going to play out. You can say a million things and go to bed at night thinking everything, but until you actually get in there and you feel the guy, you have no idea. So I know my striking with my length, and I know he likes to open up a lot, so I knew I was going to have counter shots. I wasn't too concerned. Like I said, I started a little flat. That's why I was able to back me to the cage a bit. But I just wish that second round went and I was able to kind of let the fight play out a little bit more. But I think his wrestling is definitely his biggest credential and his biggest threat on all these other guys. You know, he has pretty competitive striking matches with everybody, but he takes everybody down. And so me being a wrestler as well, I was really interested in hoping to feel that, and I'm just glad I was able to get the takedowns and get the mat returns and get my MMA positions.
So when you got in position for that chokehold, did you think that the match was over? Did you think that you had him?
I just needed more time. Like, that's honestly, you can ask guys I train with, that's my position, especially like weak side, choking side. The exact side I had, body triangle on the other side, like that's hand fighting, that's my position, you know. We were just kind of stuck up against the cage, which made it a little tougher. And I looked up and I saw, I think there was only like 90 seconds left. So I had time to work, but not enough time to really break him down.
Hey, Jeremy, how's it going? MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. I mean, no easy fights in this organization. 3-1 in the organization. Fights with Borix, fights with Sanchez, now fights with Pico. We got a card coming around the corner in December 12th. How would you like to get on that fight card?
Yeah, I mean, December's even good as well. You know, I want to stay active, but the matchup's got to make sense now. I'm constantly fighting up, I just want a match that makes sense. And right now, a win over Pico, there's a very few names ahead of me. Now, like I said, there's Pedro, and then all the guys fighting tonight, AJ, Pitbull, Borix, and that's about it. And while those guys are all gonna dust settle, I think Borix is gonna win personally tonight. But especially a Pitbull and AJ win, you know exactly what's happening next. So again, I don't want to waste my mic time on trying to call those fights that never happen. I know what fight is the most realistic and time frame is the most realistic. That December card's probably already full. So I've been in this game long enough. I know where what I want, and that's February in Ireland.